Okay. See, Pega cannot work standalone, right? Pega need different system to get the data, right? So in multiple places, we use a lot of different integration. Like sometimes we need an Excel file to process, sometimes we need an XML to process, sometimes actually like email to be processed. We need to get data from externally, right? Or sometimes like we need to use some web services using the REST or SOAP. So all actually are mainly part of the integration. Okay. So if you see in records tab, you will see the 4 tabs for the integration: connectors, mapping, resources, and services. Okay. So we have 2 formats. Okay.
The screen is
Is
not shared.
my screen is shared, right?
No, no, not it shared.
Yeah, I've already shared. You're able to see my screen now?
No.
No?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Yeah, before
Oh,
now it was introductory screen. Now we see your screen. Now at least I see your screen.
Yeah, now it's fine.
okay, okay.
And we're
Just
talking about
log
integration.
in. Okay. Share the screen. I don't know. Okay. So that's the 4 things. If you can see, connectors, mapping, resource, and service. Those are the 4 parts which is actually associated with the integration. Okay.
And
And in integration,
that's on the records, right?
yeah, in the records. That's right.
Okay. Records integration.
So now within integration, we have 2 types of integration. Sometimes actually like it can be need that Pega need to provide the information. Okay. So if you say like, see, if Pega working as a system of record, right, Pega need to provide the details to other system. So that is services. Actually someone will request to Pega to send the response back to them. So Pega is giving the service on that time. Okay, so that time it will be services. Okay, within the services you can see a lot of different options are there: .NET, EJB, email, file, HTTP, Java, JMS, MQ. Okay, so these are all likely you can generate. Like if you say depend on your external system, you can generate your services based on that. Like if you say your the external system is in .NET, we need to go with the service.NET for that, because we'll get the request from a .NET application. So we want to generate our services only for .NET. Okay. Same thing actually if we say JMS, Java, okay, REST, SAP. So we can depend on the client, we can generate the service based on that. Okay.
So
So in service,
are these like web services?
yeah. So SOAP and REST, that actually you can go for web services. MQ, JMS, this is the messaging. JMS
Oh,
is MQ is messaging.
yeah. So soup and yeah. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. SOAP and REST, that actually mainly like we have an HTTP. So they are actually the web services. HTTP or REST or SOAP, that will be your web service. Okay. So these are the you can generate a different way of different services from here. Then we have connectors. Okay, connectors is nothing but like you are going to connect to the external world. Like you need the information from another systems or anything. So you are going to consume the service from another system. So you are going to send the request to them and you will get response back from them. Okay. So they are actually like different on that. Like this was recently introduced. Connect HBase, Connect Cassandra. So that actually you can say related to big data. Okay. CMIS is your document repository. You can connect with the document repository and get the documents from there. .NET, EJB, file, HTTP. So similar GCA, JMS, MQ. So similar actually Connect SQL, actually we have seen Connect SQL already, like how we can get the data from the using the Connect SQL. So that's actually another way of integration. Okay. And apart from these two, like service and connector, so there actually you can see Pega can act as a requester or it can be provided as a service based on the role. Okay. The next two things are the mappings and the resources. So what do you think in the mapping? So normally see, there is different format of the file, right? Like it can be in an XML, it can be a CSV file, it can be a flat file, delimited file. So we have different mappings on that. Okay, but Pega understand that as a page. Okay, so now it's like JSON also is a new format which is coming into the picture. So JSON is actually used in REST. So how Pega going to understand that thing? Like if it is in a different format and Pega understand in a page format. So we need some logic where it will be from the page, it will be going to convert into the respective format. So that's Pega has different mapping rules. Okay, one will be like a map from the other format to the page and from page to other format. So like there will be map rule and stream rule. Okay, so like the parsing rule actually which is actually like which is converting this one map parse delimited, parse normalized and parse structured, which is actually going to be used for different type of file for that. And parse XML, which is actually like if you have got an XML, you want to convert them into page structure. Okay, an XML stream. So XML stream actually like it will be going to convert a page into XML. Okay. So, and this is actually like all your CSV, delimited and structured. So these are actually like if you have any flat file like in that format, that will convert into that. And these two are actually for PDF forms. Okay, eForm file and map eForm. If you have a PDF form and you want to work with that, you can use these two rules. Okay. So that's the mapping. And in resources, actually like all the servers, listeners will be listed here. JMS MDB listener, JMS producer model, JMS transport, JNDS server. So there are some of the servers and actually like some of the advanced concepts is there. In that time, we might use this resources. Okay. Servers and listeners mainly like it's listed here. So that's the your resources. Okay. So these are actually some of the things actually are advanced concept. Actually, initially you will not get bit of them, but we'll try to do some of the things. Okay, like if you have some connectors. Okay, let's start with connect rest. Okay, what is connect rest? Okay, how we going to work with connect rest rule? Okay, so to work with connect rest rule, we need to understand what is REST first, right? So I'm not going to tell you more details about the REST. Okay, REST is a like if you can say is a new protocol based on HTTP where you can do 4 operation: get, put, delete, and post. So that's actually like you do mainly like any database operation you do in that way, right? Select, delete, insert, and update. So that 4 operation you can do with the connect rest operation. Okay, so that's the actually like if you can see now without SQL you can write this using this method, you can able to update, delete, and this one. So that's the concept of no SQL comes into the picture using the REST services. So they don't need an SQL to do that. Okay. So if you see REST and what's the difference between SOAP, you can able to get that is actually widely used in every places. So you can go with the REST versus SOAP, and there is a very good document into the Stack Exchange, Stack Overflow. Sorry, yeah. Here you will get the a good description about both of them. It will completely describe what is SOAP, what is REST, when we should go for SOAP, when we should go for REST. So this is actually, like you can see, it was given very good explanation on that. So you can go with this, read this, and you can get to know what's the difference between that two. Okay. So this is, like you can see, some of the differences between the REST and SOAP. Okay. So this is the, like, architecture wise, it works in this way. There will be envelope, and then it will that it support SMTP, HTTP post, and then in that part. Okay. Yeah. So today what we are going to do is how we can use a REST service in Pega. We'll just check it out. Okay. So let's say there are a lot of free services which are available in the market. We'll use one of them. So this is actually one of the person who actually given the REST service. Okay. Thomas Ware REST service. Yeah, SQL REST. Okay. So what you can see it here is yeah. So this one you can see that you have, this is the main service. Okay. So what we can do is, like, we are going to when you want to connect to the REST, you just need this SQL. Then actually, like, if you say you have one more identifier like customer, product, invoice, and item. Okay. And then you have an ID. Okay. What actually you want to check for. Okay. So let's see, we'll do this. So we need an URL. So if you go to the Designer Studio, you have a lot of widgets in the integration portal. If you go to the connector, and you can see a create REST integration. Okay. So there is actually for SOAP is there, and there is connector and metadata widget. We can use both of them. Okay. So let's say with create REST, we need to go for create REST. So here we need to give the URL. Okay. So here we can see okay, so we can see SQL REST. Okay, we'll give the name as SQL REST. Okay, this is the endpoint URL. So you can see that it's coming, and then we need to use a parameter. Okay, so let's see actually. Okay, here, so you can see like it's a customer, and you need to 18. Okay, so that too we need to pass as a parameter only. Okay, like either we can pass for customer, we can pass for invoice into that. Okay, so we need let's see, we see it here. So we need to give the name of table type. Okay. And we need the ID. So there are the two things we need to, in the structure of that, you will see this way. So if you say, like, if you say I'm going to put this in a separate browser, it will give me the customer 18 from the database. Okay, so this is actually, if you can see, it's coming in XML format. So the first name, last name, street, city, all the details comes into that. If I don't give anything, let's see, I don't give 18, so it will return all the customers from there. So see, now I got all the customers. Okay, so it's just sending me the ID. Okay, it's returning me there, it exists or not, so it just return me the ID from there. If I'll give you any specific one, it will give me, so if you say I want to go with 10. If I give that, it will return the details about that person, 10. Okay. So similarly, like we want to implement that in Pega. We want to call this from Pega and get this detail. Okay. So that's resource path. Okay. We don't have any query string, no header, no authentication. So click next. Okay. Yeah. So currently, like we have all the operation here. So if you say we want to get, put, delete, all the 4 operation, we can put it here. Okay. So here also you need to put the name of the resource. So that we need to use it from here itself. So we need to write in the similar way. This one. So there's the main one, just we need to write that. Okay. Click next. There you can able to test it. Okay. So if you say you want to add the REST response. So here clearly, like if you can say customer and you want to put 15. Okay. So that you can see that that's written like that. Okay, that 2 other parameter now. And
Yeah.
you can run the same. So it will return the results from that. Okay.
This is cool.
Yeah,
This is cool.
yeah. So if you say you just submit that. Okay. So now you can see that it's got UA. If you say you want to add one more view, so if you say like I want the product. Okay. So for product, I'll just see that. What's the format? Product is fine. Yeah, see, actually, like it is the list of the invoices is there. I want to see for the product. Okay, for invoices, they are saying a multiple product 35 like that. Okay. So just see. Okay, so if you say I want to go with the product 35 and I added that, run it. So this will give me now product details of the now.
Got to submit, right? Okay,
Yeah. So it just came now. See, actually product telephone Sue, price is this, ID is 35. So I can submit that as well. So similar, like if you want for invoice, you can go for invoice as well. It should be all capital. So if it doesn't exist, it will say that, yeah. So I don't think so. We have invoice of 35. We'll see. Product 35. Invoice 40. So we have invoice 40. Is it feeling like this? It's saying wrong table name. Might be. Like that. Let's see from here if it is running fine or not. We can check it in the line here itself. Then we can able to put it there. 40. It's working. So this is bought by customer ID 4 and total was 5288. It's working fine there. Invoice. It should be like that. When I check this, if I just keep without that, will it work? It's working with that. Okay, fine. Actually, we'll not worry about that because it's so. Actually, one of the option we have added. That's fine. And then if you see, we have another one is there. Item. If you want to click specific item, we can click with invoice. What are the different items is there in that invoice? We can get it that from that. Okay. So you see that item will be there as well in the below. Okay, fine. We have already two, so that we can check it out now. Okay, so we have two options available. Click next. Okay, so here just we need to check it out. Actually, everything are working fine or not. Okay, so it's actually like going to create into the FW. So we want to create that. Okay, anything. Actually, in the purchase FW, we want to create this. So if we say we want to use connector name and SQL REST only. So the name was coming little different, so just use the name different. Okay. In data layer, I'm going to use the new parent class will be like fine. Data type, I'm to create that SQL REST. Okay. And this page also I want to create with the SQL or yeah. So let's say we create with the SQL REST itself. Okay. And I can change this rule sets as well. The rule sets name also coming in. Different one. Let's say just create the SQL REST. So everything which is actually like it's coming as we're going to create into the SQL REST itself. Okay, so everything we have changed so that it will be look better. Otherwise, the name was little bit odd onto that. So once you have done that, just create the same. Class ID generated is more than 25 character. Okay. So let's do this way. We're going to create into the organization level itself then. But this is a click. Which class name is going to create it? So it's going to create 16 classes. One parse XML, one data page, one data transform. So total 57 rules is going to be created with that. So now actually if you can see, it's going to create all the rules like that 57 rules which we have seen, it's now mapped. We can use them now in either in data page or either you can use a activity to work on that. So you can see that the rule sets, class, okay, everything is created now. Okay, so if you go to this rule set, okay, this is the class. If you go to the app, and go to get int SQL REST. Okay, so this is, you can see that this many things are getting created for different operation: get, put, post, delete, right? So all are like different database is created. Okay, and you have like two. We have just given two, so it's created two of the model now. For others, actually, it's not yet created. If you have given the different model for invoice and item, it will going to create for them as well. So currently, it's not created for that part. Okay. And this is, I think, that was creating problem. So something actually it's created the class name with this name. Okay, within that it's created that customer and product type. Okay. And within that there will be rule connector and the mapping rule. So connect rest method will be here. So that's actually you can see that the two field which we are given is going to pick up from that. Okay, and the mapping rule which is actually parse XML. So that is it will be going to use for that. So this is I think for the customer. Okay, this is actually only created for customer. Actually, we need to use different parse XML for different. If you want different data, we need to use the different operations for that.
Mukesh, is this being recorded?
Yes, this is recorded.
Yeah, it will be good to send it. This is very important.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now, if you say you are going to run this, okay. So there is some data types also get created. Okay. So these are all the 4 operations are already there with you. This is the complete table, and if you see the data wise, so if you see you go with the your database. So if you see you come to in place of int, give the data. Okay, so that's the respective data model will be created with that customer and product. Okay, so here you can see the complete customer, and within the data model it will be created a data page. Okay, So that's the data page which is created for this. Because this contains 4 tables at once. Okay, so that 2 properties are mapped with that. So here, if you say if you want to use this, okay, let's say we want to run this. So it will ask you 2 parameters here. Okay, table type and ID. So this is actually data page which is actually we are using. So if you say we want to give that as customer, okay, and let's say we want to get the customer of 95, okay, and run the same. Oh, it doesn't run properly. Fail to pass XML error. The element type HR. Okay, let's see what actually it's returning, and there is some issue with the parsing. Okay, so what we can do is we can go with the tracer and put the settings. We have a actually data page in the tracer. Okay, oh, it's everything is selected already. So what I'm going to do is I will going to run it once again. Customer, and I'm going to give the ID and 25. Let's run the same. It will fail. Oh, it didn't fail this time. It worked. Might be, or that employee ID may not be there. So this time you can see that your customer is populated here. So if you say I'm going to give the product, so the product will be populated now. So this, okay, you need to, yeah. So if you see in the customer will be empty this time, and oh, it doesn't bring that product. Okay, I know actually there is actually for customer only they have written, actually for others it doesn't create. We need to create that from ourselves. So if you see open this response data from, I think is it populating both fields? Okay, it's actually like populating both. So this is a data transform rule which is actually like generated by Pega itself. Only the thing is that that XML rule we have seen, right? This one, no, not this one. Parse XML rule we have seen, right? Yeah. So here you can see that actually like it just created for customer. We need to create this one for like respond get product as well. Currently that was not created yet. So that's actually the problem. So we need to replicate them and need to create for product separately. So widget is not created for that. So we need to create that from our end. So this way we can able to see like database, how we can going to use that. Now if you want to use this in using an activity. So this is actually one way you can use that. Okay. If you have to use that in activity, how you are going to do that? So similarly, like the same way, like you are connecting REST, you are going to call connect REST method in an activity. and then you are going to use this both data transform to get the data from there. Let's see, actually integration is widely used. Actually, without integration, no application can going to work on that. Okay, one more thing, Eclipse, you the connect rule, right? Here you can see in the method, you can see all the 4 ways. Okay, get, request, response. Okay, so this is like XML pass rule. In the XML pass rule, it's only like it's just doing only one of them. So similarly, like if you can see in the post, you can see request. So currently, like if you can see response post, by default it's just created one of the dummy one. Actually, during the runtime, if you have done this, it will be useful to create this. Otherwise, it will not create the other part of it. So currently, it's not created the other operation here. So normally, like most of the time, we go for the get operations only. Other operation, we can run it and we can also check it out as well. So let's see how we can use this in activity now. Okay. So let's say I'm going to create an activity. Check. Okay. Yeah. Now, see, actually, in activity, while working on activity, will like this way, it be little bit challenging because we need to do a lot of things to run this connect rest on that. So let's say we are going to create a new page to set the context. Okay. And that page which we are going to create, that should be of the int class. Okay. So where your you have so this will be not this. We have this one. So this will be the name of this one. 𝐸𝐸. We need to use this complete name. So because where we have our connect SQL rule. Okay. In the next step, what we are going to do is we are going to set the value. Okay, so that is like we are using that two things, right? Table and ID, right? Table type and ID. So here we are going to do the property set. Okay. Similarly, with the context of same SQL REST, so actually like we can refer this to do that as well. So before doing that, what is doing in the data transform? So this is the request get. We can check the data transform, how that is happening. So just write in the same way. Okay. If you want, actually like we can use directly this one as well. But let's see. I feel like I don't want to mix up both the things now. So you can use this property set. So if you can, I get that here. Like if you say I got request dot ID. Okay. So I say like I'm going to part that as customer, and I want to go with 18. Okay. So these two property before calling me, I've set that as well. Okay. I have coded it now. So get it that done. Next step, I want to going to use the connect rest method. Okay, so there's a connect rest method with the same page context. I'm going to use it. Like see, I'll give you what the problem it will happen if I not give the context. I'm not like, let's see, now I'll show you that. So if you see it is looking for the service name, right? So if I'll see it here, I did not get anything. Okay. So let's stop it and put the same page name here. And go again and check it now. You will see the connect rule num there. Okay. So that's the connect rule, rest rule we want to run. So here, let's see what you want to do run. Get, post, put, delete. You can choose it here. So let's say if you want to run it for get. Okay. So now in the next step, you can get the property details. Like currently it's like XML parsing and all the things will be done by Pega with that. So we have saved this. We can run and we can test it, these 3 steps now. Okay. Is tracer is okay. That's why I'm saying it's running slow. Tracer is running behind of that. Okay. So let's see, run this. Put a trace and run the same. So it's run successfully, right? If you go to the tracer, you will see that what exactly it's done. Okay. So let's make it a little bigger. Okay. So now if you see in this page, what we did initially, we have created a new page, okay, and then we set the property in this page, okay. Then the request, we have set these two, table type and ID, okay, and then we have run connect SQL method is invoked, okay, and finally, like you can see, this page will contain some response with that, okay. So within the response, we have got this detail, okay. So you can see that in the response page, we have this, all the customer details is already there in that. Okay. So that again, you can use another data transform to get the value from this now. Or you can use any property set method also to use that. Just want to check if it is, no, I don't think so it is going to work with product now, because yeah, product is not going to work, because in the XML it doesn't contain product. In the parsing of that, it doesn't contain, so it will going to fail now. Yeah, see, product it's run, but actually is the mapping wise is doing the customer, that the XML parsing rule we need to change. Actually that's contain only the customer in that. So we need to make changes to work in better way. So in raw message you will see that it's written. So in raw message you can see that the name, chair clock, price is 17.2, all of came in that. But when actually like we have XML parsing rule is not able to work on that. Okay, so this way actually we can use connect REST method in activity, or we can use a data transform. Once your page is created, you can display that into the UI, or you can use it in anywhere else as well. Okay, so that's the connect REST method, how we can going to use in Pega. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to see connect SOAP and service SOAP methods, how we can going to create and use that in Pega. Okay.
Mukesh?
Yeah.
So once we have received the data, like to map it internally with some particular property, where do we do that? It is in parse XML or?
Yeah, there is two ways. One is the parse XML. Parse XML will bring back data to here in this page, in the response get this here.
Okay. Okay.
From here
No,
you
we'll
can
get,
use your own page.
Okay.
So XML parse will give you in the response get page here, and after that, from the response get page, you can create your own page and can start working on that.
Okay. So we'll get it in the format of like this, right? Like PX OBJ class customer. I mean, we'll get it in the format of XML.
See, because the XML parse rule which is there, which is created by this default, it just contains the customer with that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So at this moment, actually, it's not working for others. So normally, what we do is actually for different service, we need to map it different XML rule here.
Okay.
Okay. For each of them, we need to define a different XML stream rule to work it better. Currently, like it was mapped only with customer, so it's working well with customer. For others, it will not going to work. We need to make changes so that it will work with everything.
Okay. So we'll get it in a raw message like an XML format, and then we can.
1 minute. So if you see like for customer, I'll show you now. So if you see I did it customer. Okay. Yeah. So now if you see I want to do one more step. Sorry. So let's say I'm going to use a property set. And I'm using the same SQL REST. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new page, customer, like that. Okay. Customer dot first name. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the detail from the response get. Okay. Dot customer dot first name. Okay.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah.
And I need to define this page separately, customer page in my pages and classes. So that will be eGet data customer.
We cannot write code Pega list class here.
We don't have list. This one is we don't use list.
Okay. We use code Pega list only when there is a list involved in that page.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is the SQL REST on that. Okay. 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 Okay, we have SQL REST. Within SQL REST, okay. So what we need to do is, because the customer is not standalone, we need to use in this way. So we need to use this in classes. We need to write like that. The class will be SQL REST. Okay. eGet. Oh, we have time. Okay. 1 minute. Actually, I need to check it. Give me just 2 minutes, or we'll do it tomorrow in that other scenario. Yeah, we need to write this way. Okay. So just write the customer of that class, so that will be fine. Why it's not taking that? Yep, fine now. So now if you see, it will be going to create a customer page as well. So that you are getting the from response. Check your tracer. Clear. finally, like you can see that it did the property set. Okay, if you go to the property set, it's going to see you. Okay, customer page. You need to go into the and check in the clipboard. Okay, so let's say we go to the clipboard. There will be customer page will be there. Okay, in the customer only the first name we have taken now. Okay, so the first name is populated here. Okay.
Thank you, Mukesh.
Yeah, this is which I can say this is like if you say the most required and actually most confusing as well. To start working on Pega, to understand this bit required a lot of understanding. Okay, because how you are getting the data in the clipboard, how you are going to map that data again back to use that same data again in your activity or any other place. So that understanding will take time to get it. Okay.
Okay. So this is again displayed on UI, right? On whatever way we
Yeah.
want.
So now if I can go with this page to display into the
Yeah.
UI.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is at the connect rest. So this is interesting to work because see, actually like every organization work with the integration. Actually without integration, you will not get data in Pega. Right? So integration plays a major role uh, in Pega. Okay. So
Okay.
understanding of the
So,
integration is really important.
yeah, sometime later can you also explain like which class to refer in that pages and classes, because just now you said code Pega list can be used only when it involves lists like that. If we have any other parameters to be considered.
When I did the looping in an activity, I told that, right?
Okay, then I'll check that video again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. During the activity we use about the looping, I told that things.
Okay, I'll just check it today.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll stop now
Yeah,
and we'll continue again tomorrow.
Don't forget to send this video, okay? Add
Yeah, yeah, sure.
video.
Sure, Jacob. I'll forward that to you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
yeah.
Cheers. Bye-bye.